Another game between the Knicks and the Pistons that goes right down to the wire. Karl-Anthony Towns in the fourth quarter for 3, but Cade Cunningham rose to the occasion in the fourth quarter with 13 of his 24, and the Pistons prevail 106-103 to force a Game 6 Thursday night in Detroit. There's a Game 7. It's back here in New York on Saturday. All right, let's take a look at some of the highlights from this contest. Again, the third quarter hurt the Knicks. It's been the case throughout the series. They just couldn't make it up in the fourth quarter. Jalen Duren was a force down low most of the night. Well, Jalen Brunson had that miracle as they tried to get back from a 10-point deficit, and they were able to bring it in pretty close. Malik Beasley, though, with a bucket there, and then the Knicks here. Bridges had a big fourth quarter with 13 points.
He did. That was reviewed twice. They thought it was a two-pointer. Then it turned out to be a three-pointer. That was a big three-pointer there. But overall, Cade Cunningham just didn't have a good game, but he figured out a way to hang in there. Karl-Anthony Towns ties the game up with that big three. But then Cade Cunningham just getting into the paint. Josh Hart gets undercut, lands awkwardly, hurt his wrist, and on that play, Brunson tweaked his ankle. And then Morris Thompson, a career-high 22 points. Knicks made some heroic shots. Mikal Bridges first from the right corner, then Anunoby. And then McBride's got to make the first. He doesn't make the first, so he's got to miss the second. And that's ball game. And Dennis Schroeder again. That guy is a real pain in the Knicks behind. He had another big-time performance. Not scared of the moment, and the Pistons got a big win.
Cade Cunningham only had 11 points through 3 quarters of play. What happened in the fourth quarter to get him 13 of his 24?
They were just aggressive. And listen, this series is coming down to Cade Cunningham and Jalen Brunson. Who's going to finish? And Cade Cunningham was healthy in this game. Brunson looks a little bit banged up. He tweaked his ankle again. And Cade Cunningham just getting whatever he wanted in that fourth quarter. Thought he made great decisions. We saw that play off the transition. We saw Brunson do that in the game 4. And then we look at Cade Cunningham just knocking down shots all over the place. He's going to start making his threes, too. He hasn't shot the 3-ball well. If he starts coming off those screens and trusting that 3-point shot, that's going to be a big problem for the Knicks, too, because that guy is really, really good. I think the Knicks have done a good job on him defensively overall, but the Knicks have to play really, really tight, quality, high-performance basketball if they want to beat this team and close this team out.
Mitchell Robinson, tremendous off the Knicks bench. We showed you the Knicks have 19 points off the bench. Robinson had 13 of those, also 11 rebounds, and a season-high 8 offensive rebounds. Mitchell Robinson was excellent.
He was excellent. He neutralizes Jalen Duren and that big body down low. He was all over the glass. Loved the quickness that he showed defensively. I think the team was really good. Now, it's going to take some time to kind of just, when he's out there, get comfortable with him out there because, coming back from that injury in such big moments, with him and Towns out there on the floor, they looked a little clunky. They got to figure out how the offense is going to run, but the effort is certainly there for Mitchell Robinson and for the Knicks overall. I mean, Josh Hart, what a heroic effort by him. He was all over the place getting every loose ball, a la Mitchell Robinson getting every loose rebound. That was an outstanding performance by him. Those two guys, I'll tell you, they came to close this series out. There's some other guys that just didn't have it tonight. And unfortunately, it led to the Pistons pulling off a huge win. And
Celtics are moving on. Hosting Orlando tonight, Game 5. Jaylen Brown, nice move. He had 23. Franz Wagner here for Orlando to Paolo Banchero. The Magic were up by 2 at the half and ended up losing 120-83. Suffice it to say, the Magic collapsed in the second half. Celtics won the third quarter 36-13. Jason Tatum 35 tonight. Celtics win and win the series in 5 games. Bucks at the Pacers. Caitlin Clark in attendance. Bucks off to the hot start. Giannis looking good here. Bucks up by 17 after the first quarter. Pacers responding in the second. Aaron Nesmith off balance. Pacers down by 6 at the half. Fourth quarter, T.J. McConnell to Miles Turner. Pacers up by 5. Less than a minute left in regulation. Giannis drives and scores for the Bucks. Bucks go up by 4. Look at this move. Giannis Antetokounmpo. Pacers down 2. Tyrese Halliburton, final seconds of regulation. You see the time. Pacers down. They need the bucket. They got the bucket. Overtime. The Bucks, Gary Trent Jr. hits his 4-3 in the OT. Bucks up 4. They would lead by 7 late. 20 seconds left. Halliburton drives and scores. Pacers are down 1. Trent Jr. had a couple of key turnovers down the stretch. Here, Bucks trying to run out the clock, and they turn it over through Trent's hands. Watch this again. Bucks up 1, trying to run out the clock, and look at that. So the Pacers with a chance. They're down 1. Halliburton scores, and the Pacers win the series 4-1, 119, 118 to final. The Bucks absolutely collapsed in the final minute overtime. They were up by 7 points and lost the game. Karl-Anthony Towns, a deep 3. Not enough tonight for the Knicks. We'll get Cat's postgame reaction coming up. Let's take a look at some of the highlights from tonight's game, and as has been the case throughout the series, close from start to finish.
A lot of dunks for Sir Thompson in this one. He was playing the dunker spot and living up to that name. Jalen Brunson, heroic, huge shot. Knicks did not generate good offense like the Detroit Pistons, who got a lot of easy buckets, dunks in transition. That was a big 3 by Mikal Bridges in the fourth quarter, pulling up on a 2-on-1 break. Nails that 3-pointer. But Cade Cunningham down the stretch of this ball game, Bill, he was very effective. Knicks got it to tied at that point. Karl-Anthony Towns knocks down that big 3, but then they did not relent. Cade Cunningham continued to attack. Josh Hart hurts his wrist and back on that play. More easy baskets. Cade Cunningham slicing and dicing the Knicks up. So now the Knicks down 5. Anunoby hits that 3 to cut it to a 2-point game. Down 3 here. Missed by
Deuce.
And then he missed the first free throw, which he needed to make. Bricked that one. Then he bricked the second one, which he had to try to miss, which he did. But then the Pistons got the rebound.
Look at the free throw shooting, Wally. The Knicks missed 11. Detroit missed 10. Knicks lose by 3. That's a huge number there, missing 11 free throws. You see everything else pretty close. Points off turnovers. Knicks got 19, Detroit 12. Bench points, 26 for the Pistons. Mitchell Robinson, excellent for the Knicks off the bench. All right, look at these scores. Through 5 games, the Knicks have outscored the Pistons by a total of 5 points. All right, so here's what's ahead. We know there's going to be a Game 6 Thursday, pregame here at 7, game at 7:30. If there is a Game 7, it is Saturday back here at MSG. We will have the game for you right here on MSG Network. Pregame, game, and an hour-long postgame if there is a Game 7 on Saturday. All right, so to Detroit, the series goes, Wally, for Thursday night. And the Knicks won both games in Detroit by a total of 3 points. 2 points in Game 3, 1 point in Game 4.
Crazy series. And you mentioned how Detroit has won 4 out of 5 here on the Knicks home court. Well, the Knicks won the first 2 games in this playoff series on Detroit's home court. So home court obviously doesn't mean anything. In the end, I'd like to be on my home court in big games like this. And we'll see if home court can start to hold serve, because normally it does in the playoffs. And it's going to be tough for the Knicks to go in there, especially how banged up they are, to get a win there in Detroit. But they always have Game 7 to fall back on. But they can't think like that. They got to play at a higher level in Game 6 and try to end this series now.
Yeah, only 1 day off.
Yep.
Team's going to travel tomorrow to Detroit, Game 6 Thursday, and hopefully Jalen Brunson's okay with that ankle, and hopefully Josh Hart is okay. And as Hart mentioned, Alan Hunt after the game, his whole body hurts. And Hart is so courageous, puts forth maximum effort on every single play. Hopefully he's able to put forth a maximum effort in Game 6.
Jalen Duren took a hard fall. Mitchell Robinson hit the ground hard. Everyone's banged up at this point. You just got to find a way to will your way to victories in the playoffs.
All right, so it's Game 6. We're going to have it for you right here on MSG. Pre-game at 7, game at 7:30. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports app. Coming up next here on MSG, it's MSG Shorts. Detroit comes in New York and beats the Knicks 106-103. Jalen Duren was excellent. Tobias Harris had 17 points, a Long Island native. Josh Hart tried to do his best, but the Pistons prevailed down the stretch, even though Mitchell Robinson had his best game of the series. Cade Cunningham, 13 points in the fourth quarter. We'll talk to you on Thursday night.